Hey everyone, Ivy Gaming here, and today we're playing Dragonheir Silent Gods. And for today's video, I'm joined by Gorax via audio again. We're going to talk about the Starlight Challenge, so thank you for joining me, Gorax. How are you?
Hi everyone, welcome to the video. I'm doing good, quite enjoying the challenge. It's been challenging, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
So I will, of course, have his channel linked if you guys are struggling with some content. He is doing stuff related to his other account as well as the Starlight Challenge, so even if you're not participating in the challenge and making it extra difficult for yourself, well, some of these videos will probably still help overall. Lots of good mentions about the rares you're using and progressing through some hard stages like domains or the dragon. So lots of good content here, guys. Make sure you go give him some love. And you're streaming on Twitch a lot, right?
Yes, recently I started streaming on Twitch again because it's more there's more ways
Yeah,
to interact with the viewers than YouTube, sadly.
I agree. I like Twitch a lot better for live streams too. So we're kind of gonna do a little bit of a 1 week review. Now, for me, it's a little late. This is more like, technically we're on day 9. We've played for 8 days, but he did do a 6-day account review on day 7, talking about his account and his heroes and what's going on there. But overall, oh my gosh, I'm mixed on how I'm feeling. For the most part, it's been fun, but it's definitely been a challenge. I feel like I really wish I had someone like an Usha. You have Usha, right?
Yeah, I picked Usha from the chest because I said I'll play Frost Necro this playthrough because I'm playing Fire Poison on my main account
Okay.
without any good Fire or Poison heroes. So that's the challenge there as well. But yeah, Usha is a great carry early game. She can do the role of the tank before we get Horus to the high level. And she can clear the content easily. Great AoE damage dealer. Basically very versatile. So one of the best choices you can do. There's another good choice, but I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Well, no, go ahead. What do you think? Who's your other favorite choice when you're talking about that? I guess let me pull up the battle
Uh,
pass so people know what we're talking about.
yeah, so the battle pass gives you a selectable rare hero. So this is a very, very good chest. Basically, you can pick whoever you need, whoever you want, whoever you like. And it also depends on who you had previously. So in my
Yeah, for
experience, I didn't
sure.
have anyone good. So I picked Usha. But if I had Usha, I would go for Sigrid. She's just so
Oh,
good. And
yes.
while Usha does a lot of damage, she doesn't bring the utility that Sigrid does with her attack penalty debuff and healing prohibition both on battle skill and the ultimate. So we basically have 100% upkeep on that skill, and which is very crucial in most of the content in the game. And attack penalty too is just so good if used at the right time. So these are two definitely top choices. I created a video covering 6. I believe
Yeah.
focusing on the utility-based heroes is way better early game than focusing on the damage dealer.
And she's both, though. That's the good thing about her is she does massive, great damage for something like Goblin if you're bringing other heroes that apply debuffs. She can be your core damage dealer and bring the utility of healing prohibition, which we need in a lot of places, and attack penalty too, which you need in every boss fight. So she's kind of the whole package. I think she's great.
Yeah, totally agrees. Even pairing her with Usha, when Usha does an ultimate, she applies frost to
Oh, that counts.
every
Yeah.
enemy, and then Sigrid just fires through with her arrows, just basically clearing. If you pair her Usha's ultimate first and then Sigrid, you can clear the whole wave of goblins with just using these ultimates, and then you move to another, saving you a lot of time.
That's been a huge struggle for me. So I'm on day 9 here, and I cannot do Goblin 5. I think this last stage, I think it is. What is it? Let me pull up this. Oh yeah, no, I went on to the first one because we had to, but I can't do like anything. It's so sad. I'm just really, really stuck in this sad state of semi-okay DPS. I use my Fire Adventure. Horus is okay. And I tried bringing Lorari because I thought he'd bring good utility for Guild Boss Vortex, which he does, but he sucks in Goblins, so I'm horribly disappointed. So I'm trying to diversify my roster right now to bring in more people that have some AoE damage to some extent with some decent multipliers that I can also use in other content as well that are not poison and fire because, I mean, if I had Sigrid, she'd 100% be here, but I don't. So I'm definitely struggling with the goblin farm right now. It's not my friend.
Yeah, well, I'm in similar boat because I actually managed to. I don't know how I've done it, but my Clepsydra finished on day 7 instead of day 6. So I had like 5 hours to farm Goblin
Yeah,
level
there's a
2.
little bit of extra time. Yep, that's what it was. It has a
Yeah.
spillover.
So I was able to clear Goblin layer 2 level 1 with that
Yeah.
with that heroes, and now I'm stuck on level 2, barely clearing with 1 star, but I'm still getting that experience. So a little bit better position for me, but it is a struggle. Goblin lair is one of the hardest contests, truth to be told, because you're not using the heroes you will use for any other content.
And speaking of hard, Flame Domain. Fire is the worst thing to pick as the beginning, so Fire and Poison this round is probably the worst choice that we could pick as a starting affinity to work on because the Flame Domain is hard. You really need more specific heroes for it, and better planning and more survivability versus the Frost one that's just power through, have some damage, you're good. So I think you actually made a really good choice by going Frost because that's easiest to farm. You could even farm stage 3 with the Frost heroes, not even changing out the affinity when you get strong enough. So that definitely helps.
That is true. I mean, the difference between Frost and Fire and Tempest, which is the hardest, by the way,
Yeah,
is
without, because you need the
so
peeling prohibition, yeah.
yeah, it's so big that, as you said, I don't even need to change my team really to deal with that Tempest. Sorry, with the Frost domain. While Fire requires specific heroes and it's a struggle, and that's why on day 5 and 6, before the rebuild finished, I
Ugh,
focused mainly on the domains. So I cleared all the domains
I
level 3,
wish I
and I
did.
got
I couldn't do them. I couldn't do threes at that
yeah,
time.
I was quite lucky, I would say, with the pulls because I got Anna. I got Anna quite early, and obviously she's such a clutch hero for that AoE dispel. Still,
Yeah, I
level
picked her
70 on
from the
my main
box.
account. Oh, you choose her from the box. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have Anna and you're not a big spender, you will struggle with a lot of content because that cleanse is so crucial.
Yep, for sure. So that's some doing these kind of dungeons, pushing through content. That was a big part of our whole Starlight Challenge, actually. We went ahead and with the community, I wanted to have it fun and interactive and give people a reason to try to push content and stay active overall. And very quickly, we went through our first mission list here on the Discord, which was, I mean, I was surprised. I guess I wasn't surprised at how fast people did it. Maybe the Vortex one surprised me. But what did you think? Did you expect people to be pretty good out of it, or did it surprise you?
There were a few surprises. I mean, Vortex one, that is really surprising for me as well, because even on the account that I'm playing, I'm like, it's what's like day 9. I still can't do 2
Yeah,
million,
I
and
can't.
someone did it
Oops. There we
like a
go.
couple days ago. So that's really really good. It shows you that we got so many good people because everyone is playing the same way we do. They don't use Hello Light dices, so uh, basically are using what they have, and coming up with these strategies is quite cool.
Yeah, so we had I do have all this info on my Discord, of course, here if anyone wants to reference and see what we've been up to. We have cleared this whole set, and I think again, I think the surprise was Vortex getting that 2 million in. Daniel just crushed it the other day. Let's see, what was his team? What was his team? So his 2 million damage on Vortex stage 1 was our free Hexandra, our free Horus, the Adventurer, Megan, and Sigrid. So not a surprise there with some good damage dealers. But I mean, maybe Sigrid surprises me in this team. I feel like it doesn't really fit for Vortex, but maybe she does more damage than I realized with her battle skill and ultimate without having all the extra burst damage. I didn't really think about her that way, I guess. But hey, it worked, right?
Yeah, the attack penalty helps as well, and
Oh yeah,
as we
just
can see,
keeping that up. Yeah, that's right.
he has 2 healers here, which are
Hmm.
quite good. So he's got Sandra for this huge heal, and Megan who does defense up and also restoration over time. But what's surprising for me is he used a fire Traveler, which I don't usually use in
Yeah, you want
bosses
the
because the
protection of the
frost
shields
provides
to
the
last
shield.
longer. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
so
at that
that
one
is
too.
surprising. I wished he showed us the statistics so we could see the
Yeah,
fire
we didn't see
traveler's
the other
damage.
one.
But yeah, it's surprising because I think maybe there's a reason that's why he done 2 million, because obviously the traveler provides a little bit of burst damage as well, so the
Yeah.
boss doesn't stack too high. But yeah, that was surprising, and he's done it quite quickly as well. Let's be honest, that wasn't like
Yeah, this was
as I
a
said,
couple
I
days
didn't even do
ago.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like two, yeah, really quickly before the week was even over. That was pretty impressive. That's actually why I don't like Horus like at all is his attack penalty 2 is on his ultimate and it's not 100%. At least Sigrid brings 100%, so that makes it better already. So he's not consistent to be like the only decrease attack hero. You definitely, if he's going to be your tank, you probably want one other hero that brings that as well. Do you agree?
Yes, I love horse.
You like
I'm gonna
Horus?
be
Oh, I hate
honest.
him.
I love dwarfs basically. Yeah, I really
Oh,
like
that's fair.
dwarfs as a mythical creatures. Yeah,
That's fair.
but yeah, I like that, and he's really useful. I mean, Grave of Venom is so easy with him as a tank. Even Grave
That's
of
true.
Rot,
He is
he's
great
basically
there.
taking any damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
definitely
feel
the
like there's too
developers gave
many
us good tank.
good. I guess it depends on getting lucky, and he is free at the end of the day. But I feel like there's so many better tanks now that I'm never gonna book him because you can't even book him up to 100%, which bugs me. That's one thing I don't think he deserves books because you can't even book his attack penalty to be 100%. If that was the case, I think he has more value for books. But there's just so many, like, yeah, obviously Furboth has that and heal and a little bit more, but we got to get lucky and pull him. Or Guard Garius is like a really interesting new tank as well. And I think Isolde I would still prefer over Horus, even though she's a little squishier, just because she brings so much shields to help the whole team, where I feel like Horus is a little more selfish helping himself. That's what kind of why I'm not a fan. But he works, and some people still really use him through endgame content, so can't be too bad, I guess.
Yes, I agree. He's a very selfish tank. For example, if we look at the fire tanks, Isolt or Isolt
Yeah, I love
is a way
her.
better tank.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
she's a way
saying. Yeah,
better
Isolde,
tank.
I
So,
call her. Yeah.
and as well, attack penalty and all basically
Mm-hmm.
protects
I
the
think
whole
she's
team
better
instead of
too.
just
I
herself.
agree.
Yeah.
100% chance to place it instead of Horus, who's only 75%, even with books. And she brings all the shields defense up, and I think she just brings more. So I really hope I pull Isolde, honestly. I would love to bench Horus, and for her, personally. But for now, I'm using Horus as well, because he is definitely the best tank option I have. Oh man, so much though. I can't like I'm at this weird point. So this is my account right now. I have one level 90 and that's the adventurer because I could choose to go farm stage 3 of ice, which was a lot easier than trying to even do here. And I can't do flame domain 3 yet. I just can't. So right now I'm kind of in that process of building up other people that are going to help me for flame domain 3 and be other elemental damage of any sort for the main DPS or a secondary DPS. But I still think I'm gonna probably have to build even what's his name? Fitz probably to go in there too, and not just have Enna as the only cleanser. Or I really have to try the whole resistance strategy and boost everyone's resistance up. Have you done that? Have you done the resistance strategies? I didn't watch yours, so I didn't know your strategy. I haven't watched yours yet. I was going to, but have you done that yet?
Uh, so on the first playthrough, I used like the team I used to beat domain level 3 is something that I would never use again. I didn't have Usha, I didn't have any tank basically because I had Horus. So I used like Radiant support with some Ice guy, basically just taking as much damage as possible. Because it was even hard to go through the trash mobs, basically the first two waves to get to the boss. And then yes, I used resistance.
Okay.
The chest, basically you don't need too much resistance. Truth to be told, you only need to have a chest with the main resistance stat. That gives
I
you
have
on the
none
rare
though.
level
I have
50.
none. I've not pulled a single resistance chest in my whole account yet. Yep.
Oh, that's
So,
bad
like,
news. Yeah, but
what do you think
definitely.
is enough resistance for Flame 3? Like, if people are stuck on Flame 3 and they're like, this cleanser thing is not happening for me, or the timing is terrible, I want to be able to auto. What do you think the optimal resistance to try to get all is it all of your heroes at a certain level? Or how what has your been your strategy so far with that? How much?
So I'll aim for between 40 to 50 resistance plus
Oh, that's not
resistance
bad.
food.
Oh,
Yeah,
plus
resistance
food,
food
that's
gives you
true.
20. Yeah. So that's above 50 basically. You don't really have to have that much resistance on the tank if you spread your heroes and avoid the splash damage.
Yeah, that's true. As long as the
But
splash damage isn't.
everyone else definitely, yeah. And attack penalty as well. If you don't have a cleanse, you want to bring that attack
Yeah.
penalty so when she casts the ultimate it deals as low damage as possible. And of course, Frost Traveler for the shield at the right times to mitigate the damage as well.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to give up on trying to make the perfect team of cleansers and having timing go the way you want it. That's the hard part. When you go on full auto, I know we have the ultimate timing thing as the presets now, but even that, it's hard to figure out. And I feel like it's more stressful trying to make the timings perfect. I think I might have to try resistance even if I just go with substats and food. That's something I'm gonna have to try soon because I'm at the point where I can't make anybody, all of my main people for my team are poison and fire, and I can't use them as is because I mean I'm gonna get to the point where they're just gonna start dying because I need level 90s. I need to be pushing higher, and I can't upgrade anybody because I can't farm for the epic materials. And yeah, it makes you feel a little stuck.
It does, and this feeling will stay with us free-to-play players for a while every time we unlock new content, because this is just something that is. See, for example, I couldn't get to uh, Grave of Curse level 4, which unlocks epic equipment,
Yeah,
because I didn't have heroes. And when I
I
started
still am
investing
not
in the
doing the
right
epic
heroes,
much either.
I couldn't get enough experience. So there's always like a disadvantage that we are at. And especially with no heavy light dices, we can't really pour epics that are game changing as well. I believe epic rare heroes have so much good utility that you can really finish game without any epics or legendaries. But on the other hand, some epics are so strong
Yeah, they're
that without them,
practically legendary.
especially like support heroes
Mm-hmm.
like
Oh
Catherine,
yeah,
who does debuff protection, so your team can't suffer from any debuff. So in your case, fire
that's
domain with
huge.
Catherine will be so easy.
Yeah, that would be a good shout for someone that would really help my account right now. I think though, when it comes to the dungeons, I don't think anyone should farm curse or rot ever, unless the event makes you 100% venom. Like all, because you could still get those main stats, and then you can get beneficial stuff like skill haste thrown in as a substat. Even if you're going for HP and defense, that's gonna help, or the attack speed is gonna help everybody. But it's all about trying to get the best stats possible to really smack with your nukers, I feel like that's top priority, and that seems to be a consistent advice I honestly have seen from some of the high end, like Arsalan is my guild leader for my main account, with the Eternals, and he's all about like don't farm anything except Venom. Just don't waste your time. Obviously, the runes are different. You kind of need those because those are the only spots. But these are so secondary and so much more niche because there's that constant like rush of just trying to get the best gear possible to min max your team. And I feel like you're never going to have perfect damage dealer gear, so you're accidentally going to pick up the support stuff along the way, even if it is attack based. That's kind of how I've been going about it on both accounts so far. So I'm not even, I just want to, whatever can make me farm Gamer Venom, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've done basically for the most part. I tried to get to Venom today. I'm gonna try to get to Venom level 7. Hopefully it will
Oh,
happen. Yeah, on my
nice,
main account,
really?
obviously.
Oh, the main account.
But
Okay. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
wait,
no,
wait.
no. Not that far here. But another thing that is worth mentioning, if you struggle with domains, you will eventually have a quest for Grave of Rot, which requires you to do 8 Grave of Rot at level
That's
4
true.
and
At a
8 Grave
certain
of Rot at
stage.
level
Yes, I remember
5.
that.
So
And
basically, that's what the quest I've done today. And by doing that quest, because I struggled with Grave of Rot previously, I had like tried for 2 days and I couldn't pass it through. Once I passed level 4 and I got this accuracy and resistance equipment, I got to level 5 on auto easily. Because my
yeah,
heroes right now have
go
200
ahead.
resistance each.
That's true. I definitely feel
But this
like
is
but I feel like you're gonna, by having to do some Grave of Curse and some Grave of Rot, because the missions make you anyway, or you just want to progress them to get to higher levels, um, you're gonna naturally get some pieces that you can use enough compared to like having to overly obsess about farming that one specific dungeon. Like I can't see blasting a ton of stamina in one of those compared to Venom though. That's kind of where I mean. Like I think you're gonna get enough just by doing what you kind of have to do is more kind of my thought.
exactly, and this is why I mentioned this quest, because don't worry about them until you get to this quest, because the rare equipment that you get from these dungeons is really unnecessary.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, it's like, oh, I get
yeah,
40 accuracy, thanks. It's like, that's exciting.
exactly. And the epic one will give you accuracy plus, I think, still 40, but 60 resistance. So that is good. Until that point, don't waste your stamina there.
Yeah. My account, I have one piece of epic gear. Yep, time to go farm Game of Venom. This has
That's
been
true.
the struggle.
Definitely.
It's been a really hard struggle because I feel so stuck with this situation. So instead of going to farm for better gear, I'm farming Goblin to build up other heroes to help me be able to progress my main core team. I really regret going Poison and Fire in the end, but those were just my best options by far, so I felt silly not to. But I probably should have just been more patient with my box from the past. Maybe I should have got Usha just so I had a damage dealer myself. Like if I could go back, I'd probably grab Usha instead of Enna and use Enna later on and rely on resistance to get me through and have a better core team that can farm easier because I'm just so stuck and I definitely regret it. That's my biggest regret. Don't go anything paired with fire for your first affinity that you're working to build. Don't do it. That's my regret and my advice. What about you? Do you have any regrets? Did you make any mistakes or anything that you're like, oops, I wish I could change that, or how you doing?
I wouldn't say I made mistakes on the Starlight Stone Dice account. However, on my main account, oh man, there's so many to count. Like even silly thing like looking at the Psyche core, the way I actually understood it is totally different to the way it actually works. So I
uh,
had spread this resource so weirdly that it doesn't make any sense. And also the team that I created, Eli, does a lot of damage. He's really good, but
yeah, I like
Eli
Eli.
requires good placement.
Yes, he
If he
does.
has
He's
no
very
enemy,
specific for his ultimate. It's annoying as hell.
it is because if he has no enemy in front of him,
He won't even
he
use
doesn't
it.
cast
It
it.
just sits there.
Yeah,
Someone in the Starlight Challenge was like, "Why is Eli just not using his ultimate?" I'm like, because you have to have it. He doesn't twist around and spin to use it, which is stupid. Come on, but it is the way it is.
yeah, that's why I was so happy to pull Sigrid eventually doing a live stream, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there we
I think
go.
everybody with a skill like this, like Zadok, all of them are that way, aren't they? None of them like spin.
They
They all
are,
kind of, yeah, it's annoying.
yeah. And it's really easy to abuse that in arena as well. You just
That's
avoid that,
true.
and they're never gonna
Super
cast it.
easy. Yeah, it's easy to avoid it or to take it. I use Eli in arena because so many people just group all their people together and I just put him there and just blast him. So in my little baby arena team consists of Eli, even though I'm not using him on the main, which I love. I love that we can just use whoever the hell they want for arena. I think that's quite fun. I really like that element that's been added personally.
Yes, and it's also a good way to test heroes in this environment because you have so many unlocked, and the only thing you need to do is change their equipment, really. And you can see what
Yeah.
works best for you. Like, for example, I find out on my main account that there's an epic, I don't remember the name out of my head, but an epic frost that does an frost vortex that explodes later on, and he's doing so much damage that Usha is in shadows, basically hiding because he's just
Nice.
out damaging her. So yeah, you can really find these new heroes there and see if they actually work in PvE
That's true.
eventually
That's a
once you
good
get
idea,
resources.
actually. Yeah, it's a good testing ground that's not just a attack something that is going to die in 15 seconds.
Exactly. And obviously enemies will hit back so you can test their survival skills and how they do in, you know, real environment. Because we obviously have this train and drill, but these dummies don't move. So
That's true. It's true. It just sits there. It doesn't really, it doesn't have any sort of, yeah, interactions to see how it, where here you can purposefully try to fight certain teams to see how it counteracts. something that you're struggling with, maybe? Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good idea. I like that. All right, but I think we kind of covered a lot. I think that was a good chat, and I don't know. I'm feeling good going into the new week. I'm rolling with the punches. I'm like, yeah, it's stressful that I'm stuck with my team, but I'm just trying to build out some more heroes. Goblin is going to be, well, I'm going to be a slave to Goblin for a little while longer before I really pump up my gear grind, but I still am enjoying it so far. How about you? Are you enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I definitely am. It just struggle to juggle the time between two accounts. That is my
Yeah, me
only concern
too.
because
Yeah.
the quest line is taking ages. I mean, I kind of finished quest line on my main account. There's something new. I don't want to spoil too much, but I didn't expect there to be more content after the last fight of Act 2 because I didn't see that in the beta. But well,
Oh
surprisingly,
no,
there
they
is.
told us there was gonna be a whole new underground area added. Oh yeah, you weren't there for the. Were you there for the fireside chat?
No, I wasn't there. I
Oh,
was
okay,
playing
yeah, I
different
already
games.
knew that we were gonna have a whole nother section of content after the main story, so I was expecting that. Apparently, but I'm
Yeah,
kind of taking it where the Starlight account is my main account. The Starlight account is I'm gonna make sure I can do everything the best I can, use all my energy, use some extra stamina on the Starlight account before I even open my season 0 account for the day because I'm using my season 0 account. And I'm kind of it makes that account makes me feel like a Kraken. This account makes me feel like well a sad unlucky free to play player, I guess, but
a little mouse.
I'm a little bit of both, which is actually quite fun to play the two extremes. So I'm prioritizing
Yeah,
my Starlight though.
so I ditched my pay to win season 0 account. Like I
Yeah.
when I decided to come back to the game, I said no, I'm gonna play fresh, free to play way because I know the heroes that we can use are really good, the rare ones. So yeah, my Hvita, Hohadir, and my Frost combo is just there sitting, you know. So
Yep.
yeah, my main account is the one that I use Heliolite dices on, but basically I have two main accounts I would say because I really enjoy the no Heliolite dice account, and I believe the next season I'll just continue. I'll just play this game on that account without any Heliolite dices like forever, as long as I
Really?
can at
Yeah.
least. Maybe if I get to like 100 dices, I'll go. I want summon 100 dices. Session is always nice and rewarding.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I don't know. I think I like the idea that we have seasons because as a free to play challenge and starting fresh with new players, it can be something different, a different theme, a different whatever, every new season. Uh, but I also have that like, or do I want to do like season 2 of the Starlight Challenge and invite new people to join us? But then if new people join us, they might feel behind because we have more people. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm probably going to do a different challenge every season, but we'll see. I'm liking it so far though. But yeah, thank you for
Yeah,
joining me. I really appreciate it. It's fun to talk about this. I wanted to have you join me this time because I knew you were a little more active than Sky. I'll have to check in with Sky maybe next week, see how he's doing. I know he got a slower start than we did, but I know he's trying to catch up.
it's not easy to catch up. It really
Yeah.
takes time, especially yeah. I would say it takes time basically.
Alrighty, but guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you guys go follow Gorax on YouTube and Twitch. I will also be live on Twitch probably tomorrow. Is tomorrow Wednesday? I don't know what day it is. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. So I'll see you guys
Yeah.
then, but thank you for joining me again, Gorax.
No worries. Thank you for having me, and hope to see you again soon.
Alright, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.